This is an interview with Paula Hampton in New York City by Joan Cartwright in Boynton Beach, Florida. Paula, how did you first come to music as a child?
Well, I didn't have much choice. We're from Indianapolis, Indiana, and my family had the Hampton family band when I was a child. It was always that thing of, one of these days I'm going to be playing in that band. You know how children are. There was always music in my house. My mother, Alitra E. Hampton, was the pianist and leader of the Hampton family band. The rest of the musicians in the band were my Uncle Russell. He played tenor sax. My aunt Carmen, baritone sax, and Dawn, she played the alto sax. Margaret Maceo, who played trumpet. Uncle Duke played the vibraphone, and Uncle Slide Hampton, the famous trombonist. They had a guy playing drums, and it was always my thing. I'm going to play with this band. I wanted to play trombone like Uncle Slide, but my arms were too short to reach the seventh position. There was a club called the Cotton Club, and sometimes my Uncle Duke would let me come in at night and hide behind the piano so I can listen to the music. One night the drummer didn't show up at the gig. Uncle Duke asked me, "Do you think you can keep a beat until we find someone to come in here and play?" And I guess the rest was history.
So, Paula, who taught you how to play the drums?
Nobody. I had been behind that piano for so long that I knew the songs. I knew the beat. So I would just get on there and do what I saw the guy doing. Then, when I came to New York for a visit, I saw there were so many clubs and places to play, and I knew that's where I should be. The first thing I did was call some drummers and friends of mine to get someone to teach me how to play. I couldn't read the music. Some of them would tell me, "I can't teach you nothing." They had all kinds of excuses for why they couldn't teach me how to play drums. So I would get my sticks and work out some rhythm.
Did you ever go to school for music?
I did. But when I was going to school in Indianapolis, I was in a school marching band. But they had sousaphone, tubas, and horn. There was nothing to do with drums at all. I didn't know that I wanted to play drums.
How old were you when you decided that drumming was what you wanted to do?
I came to New York in 1963 for vacation, and I went into clubs and watched the guys play. There weren't many women playing at that time, but it stuck with me, and I said, I like this. Whenever I got a chance, I went to people's gigs and they asked me to come up. I never had anyone train me. I didn't have the money to pay for lessons like these young girls have today.
Would you get pushback from the male drummers, or were they supportive of you?
Well, that was the problem. A woman wasn't supposed to be playing drums, so I just kept doing it until I could do it well. Uncle Slide said, "You should learn some rudiment." I didn't know what he meant. When somebody called me on a gig, I just went and did the gig.
Did you tour around the country or out of the country?
Well, I met this lady, Bertha Hope, a pianist. We became fast friends. We formed an all-female band and did some touring. I've been as far as England and Africa. There was a lady who played piano on one of the soap operas. Her name was Lilette Jenkins. She invited me to go on a cruise to Alaska. I did a lot of traveling alone before Bertha and I put Jazzberry Jam together. The bassist was Carline Ray, Bertha on piano, and a Caucasian girl, Sue Terry, played saxophone. Still sends me cards from all over the world. We did a lot of traveling in and out of the state. We went so many places. We were together for quite a while, and we did the Kennedy Center. The first time we went down there was in 2005. The people were so impressed with our all-female group. You can see our video recorded at the Kennedy Center on YouTube. That was the time we appeared on television.
So where did you go in Africa?
We went down the coast of Africa and Tunisia. The people were impressed because women weren't playing the bass. They were playing violins and cellos. But Carline was a terrific bass player. Sue Terry still plays around the world. She played with us for about 7 years. We went right down the coast of Africa, all the way down. It was an interesting voyage. I had always wanted to go to Africa. We did Paris, Sweden, Switzerland. But that wasn't always with Jazzberry Jam. I traveled with the pianist who did the cruise ship. Her name was Lilette Jenkins. Paula, what is your favorite memory of being a performer?
The look on people's faces. Because when I came to New York, there were only about 2 other women drummers, and still that same thing that women have no business playing drum. My fondest memory, it's got to be the Kennedy Center. And that was with Caroline and Bertha. And Sue Terry, a terrific saxophone player. We had a male vocalist, Ulysses Slaughter. After that concert, the article in the paper was mostly about Ulysses because he was such a good singer. He and Caroline passed away, and that's what happened to Jazzberry Jam. Are you still performing? Whenever I can. Right now, I work for the Jazz Foundation of America, performing for seniors, but not as Jazzberry Jam. So you play with other musicians in New York, right? Yes. Sandra Reeves Phillips is one of the people I worked with for a number of years. You toured with her plays.
Yes, it was the late, great ladies of jazz and blues. She had a number of famous singers that she emulated. That's the first time I went to Washington. People loved her. I never really performed behind a male at all. That situation is getting better as far as the male-female thing is concerned. I read in the paper about Camille Thurman, who was on a jazz cruise. Also, I must mention Kim Clark, who took over when Caroline got sick. Kim was on that cruise with us. We used to laugh because we were getting our nails done while Camille was at the end of the ship playing that saxophone. Now she's playing with jazz at Lincoln Center with Wynton Marsalis. I'm so proud of these girls. When I call them, I can get anything I want. There's another saxophone player, Lakeisha Benjamin. I read an article about Lakeisha in China. It makes me so proud that these ladies are making their mark as women musicians. Did you ever work with Jazzmobile? A couple of performances in the parks and a few other venues. We perform at a tribute at the Apollo Theater in Harlem with a wealth of famous entertainers. What do you see for the future? I hope that God lets me make 90. Well, you said that you're going to see your grandchildren. Yes, I got a call from one of my grandchildren who brought to my attention that I have not seen my children or my grandchildren since 2013. They live in Charleston, South Carolina. My oldest daughter lives in Madison, Wisconsin with her children. So I have grandbabies up there too. So she said, you know, Mommy's birthday is December 21st. I said, I was there. I know. She said, my sisters and I decided that it would be nice if we got you a ticket and you can come fly down here. So I'm leaving Tuesday for South Carolina. I have great grands I've never seen, so that's going to be a plus for me. Paula, what are your daughters' names? My oldest is Regina Ryan, and my youngest is Joyce Wilkinson. Regina will be coming down too. Another thing that kept me in the music was that I loved Wes Montgomery's music. I married Melvin Ryan, who was playing with Wes Montgomery at the time. I got a chance to be around these musicians. It was like getting a music shock, especially to come in the house every day and hear them playing. It drove me crazy, but I didn't know that he would become the famous Wes Montgomery. It enhanced my desire to become a musician. I had no choice really, because my mom was still alive then. I so enjoyed listening to the family band play and to see my mom play with them. See, I had influences that other kids did not.